All right, let's talk about the new appointments. Probably the most important one, or certainly the one that people talk about most, is Shabana Mahmood. Her first headache is the arrest of 400 people protesting the prescription of Palestine action. Are you prepared for this to go on week after week, with police hauling people off the streets right outside the studio here?
If we want to avoid a two-tier policing and justice system in this country, when people break the law, there have to be consequences. That's what was happening yesterday. And almost everyone, shares the agony when we see the images from Gaza, the anguish when we see the man-made starvation. And for people who want to voice their concern and protest, I applaud them. But that does not require them to link it to support for Palestine action, a prescribed group. And I wonder whether how many of those people protesting in Parliament Square yesterday realise that members of this group have attacked police with sledgehammers, have been responsible for criminal damage, and have been planning other acts of similar violence. And it was those steps advised by the security agencies and the police, the Joint Terrorism Analysis Unit, that led to the decision the government to prescribe Palestine action.
Let's be clear. There are different groups of people here, and as you say, police were abused, there were people who came clearly to make trouble and so on. But many of those were not people carrying the placards, the people who were being taken off. I physically saw them. I saw some of them as I left here yesterday, being carried off. And they were, if I can put it this way, elderly peaceniks, a lot of them. And they are going to come back week after week after week. Is the government really just going to let this go on?
So I would say to people like that, look, voice your concerns.
Police officers who should be arresting people for burglaries, who are going to be out on Parliament Square every Saturday doing this.
So I would say to those people, voice your concerns, protest on the streets, challenge us as a government to do what we can to relieve the suffering in Gaza. But that does not need to be linked with support for Palestine action, which is a prescribed
group. To be
group.
absolutely clear, there's going to be no retreat, no change in government policy on this issue.
I expect Shabana Mahmood to be just as tough as Yvette Cooper, and I expect her to defend the decision the government's taken to prescribe Palestine action because of what some of its members are responsible for and were planning, and I expect her to do that in the courts as well.